Alright, what's up guys? I'm back. This time it's it's gonna be a long video. I'm just letting you guys know that now. It's gonna be a really long video, so I suggest you go pee or do whatever you have to do, and grab your snacks or drinks and stuff like that, because I got a drink with me right here, because I'm gonna be talking a lot, so I'm gonna need something to drink. Now this video is gonna be about the stuff that's going on with Michael Jackson, and it's gonna have to do with a lot of other things too. I'm just letting you guys know right now that I'm gonna be talking about politics. I'm gonna be talking about Michael Jackson. I'm gonna be talking about Satanism. I'm gonna be talking about, you know, molestation, and I'm gonna be talking about rape. If you are uncomfortable with any of those type of topics, I suggest just not to watch this video at all, because well, let me slow down. I suggest that you not watch the rest of this, because you are probably not going to like what I have to say about some of this stuff. Now, I'm just saying right now, I know some of you are not going to agree with my statements. Some of you are not going to agree with my views, and that's okay. Everyone has their own opinions and everything. So, I just ask that you listen to me and give me a chance and try to understand where I'm coming from, because, to be honest, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have a black dad and a white mom, and my dad died when I was really young, and my grandma died when I was really young too. So technically I'm not fully black, but I consider myself to be black. Um, and I'm not saying I'm ashamed of my other side, but I consider myself black. I consider myself to be more black than, actual white or mixed. So just want to let you guys know that, because in this country, if if you look like me, or if you look like Wesley Snipes, it doesn't matter. These particular racist individuals, they consider both of us to be black. So I consider myself to be black, even though I'm technically mixed, but I consider myself to be black. Um, I'm not a person of color. I'm not a minority. I'm a black man, and that's the way I see it, man. So I look at it like this. I just wanted to get that stuff out the way really quick, so that way you guys know where I'm coming from. So I just want to say, before we get into all this stuff, I hope you're having a good day. I hope you had a good day. Let me know how it is down in the comments and everything. And, just let me know how it was. And I want to say this too. I love you guys, regardless, to be honest. So I just want to let you guys know that to the ones who actually care about my opinion and care about me, I want to let you guys know that if you still fuck with me, even after some of the stuff I say in this video, I appreciate you guys and love you guys. And I really do hope you all are gonna understand where I'm coming from with this type of stuff. So, because normally I don't really do a lot of serious videos. The only serious video I did was that Billie Eilish interview, and other than that, most of my stuff has been jokey and all that stuff. But I feel really passionate about this topic, and I really want to get some of this stuff off my chest, because it's really been pissing me off, because I'm tired of seeing everybody only go after all these black men. I'm really tired of it, because you have all of these other individuals, specifically white men, that have been doing the same exact thing, molesting kids, raping kids, teenagers, women, men, all this other stuff. And that shit's been going on for years. And I'm tired of seeing, these black men get crucified, but these white men um, have nothing happen to them. And don't give me that bullshit where it's like, oh, they have money. Well, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, before all this, the money stuff happened, before he went broke, and Michael Jackson, they were rich black men. Yet somehow their cases and stuff is still being brought up and still being dragged through the mud. And Bill Cosby, he's going to jail or prison, and they're trying to get R. Kelly, and yet somehow they're not doing anything to Harvey Weinstein and Kevin Spacey and Roman Polanski and Jeffrey Epstein and all these other people that have been out here basically raping and molesting themselves. And to be honest, same thing with Elvis too. To be honest, I feel like it really gets on my nerves because to just to let you guys know, they did a what's it called, a documentary on Harvey Weinstein back in January. It was a Sundance film, and yet most people didn't even know about that. I found out about that recently from watching a person I'm subscribed to's video about the situation, and yet that wasn't released to the public. But we all know about Surviving R. Kelly and Leaving Neverland. We know about those documentaries, but somehow we don't know about the documentary they did about Harvey Weinstein. And yet they keep going to court, and their cases keep getting dropped, and they never get charged with any with the crimes they did. And Louis C.K., he was out here masturbating in front of chicks and all this other shit, and somehow he, as far as I know, he isn't in prison or anything like that. And see, that's the type of stuff I'm talking about. People are making memes of R. Kelly and all this other shit, but yet they're the ones getting all this pushback, and they're the ones being threatened with prison time. And yeah, people do think that Harvey Weinstein and Kevin Spacey are shitty human beings, and people chastised them before too, but now it just seems like they forgot about them, and everybody's going after R. Kelly and Cosby and Michael Jackson, which is very, 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 very fucking stupid. And I'm just letting you know right now that I might get mad, but I'm gonna try to raise my voice because people, are sleeping and stuff. So I'm gonna try to yell, but I probably will cuss a lot and get mad. So I'm just letting you guys know. Now, this type of stuff gets on my nerves. I'm tired of them trying to besmirch, Michael Jackson's name, because I love Michael Jackson. I love his music, and I just, love that he's very talented and all that stuff. And I'm tired of, them, these liars getting on here having a platform and basically lying on Michael Jackson, saying that he did what he did, even though he didn't even do what he did. Because, like they said, the FBI checked, didn't find anything. He went to court, got acquitted, and then he's never been convicted of actually doing this shit. They kept trying, but they never could do anything about it. And that Wade Robson dude kept flip-flopping. At first he was saying Michael Jackson didn't do anything. Then he came out and said he touched him. And then he came out again saying that he didn't do it. And then he kept flip-flopping back and forth. And it's like, how am I supposed to believe you when you're out here basically flip-flopping and not sticking to a story and not sticking to whether he did it or he didn't do it? How am I supposed to believe you when you're out here doing shit like that? And then the nerve that Oprah had to invite these these lying son of a bitches, these sacks of shits, on on you know to do an interview about this whole situation, even though there's no proof, no evidence that he actually did the shit. Now, yeah, I understand some people are saying, well, isn't it weird that he was in bed with little boys and stuff like that? Yeah, it's a bit weird. I mean, yeah, he kind of brought that stuff on himself. But at the same time, like I said before, there's not really any proof that he actually did it. I mean, the way I see it, just because he was laying in the bed with the boys doesn't necessarily mean he touched them. I mean, that's the way I see it. I mean, it's ridiculous that they're out here trying to crucify him on mere accusations when there's actually people out here that have actually raped and molested, yet they have either not done any prison time or they have, their time severely reduced. And it's that type of shit that gets on my nerves, because it's because of it's the double standard like a motherfucker, and it's sort of biased. And that's the way I see it. And I feel like those type of individuals need to face the fullest extent of the law, but we know they never will, because it's a crooked system. And it has ties to, slavery and racism, so they'll never ever do that shit. Because, you can't throw your brother in prison, right? Because, that'd be actually doing justice, But that's the way I see it. It's the type of shit that I can't stand, and I'm really getting tired of. Because at the end of the day, I'm a black man. I'm 23 years old. And I'm tired of seeing this shit happen to people. And there's been innocent people that have been accused of, raping people when they haven't, and they've been put in jail even though they didn't commit the crime. And I'm tired of that shit too. And and that's why when Henry Cavill came out and said that he doesn't want to date women because he feels like he might get Me Too'd, I can't blame him for saying that, because look at all these situations where men have been falsely accused of rape, and they have went to jail and their lives are ruined because of these Me Too heifers, and they want to try to ruin someone's life because they're mad at them or something like that. And how many times have black men been lied on for quote unquote raping a white woman, and they didn't do it, and they had to go to prison, or they were killed because of that type of stuff? And it gets annoying when people are out here falsely accusing people, because those accusations can literally ruin people's lives. And that's the type of shit that really makes me angry, because you're basically throwing someone else under the bus just because your life may be shitty, or you're having a bad time, or whatever the case may be, or you're going through some type of mental breakdown, or whatever the case may be. And it's that type of shit, man, that needs to stop right now. And some people have, cause I remember this one guy, he was gonna face 15 to 25 years on a mere accusation, even though there was no proof or evidence that he actually raped a chick. And they were talking about giving him 15 to 25 years for something he didn't do. Luckily, he didn't get that time, because they found out she was lying. So luckily, he didn't have to, actually spend time in jail for that type of shit. So, and that's what I'm talking about. This Me Too stuff has gotten out of control. Like, these third wave feminists are really taking things out of taking this thing shit way too far. Like, it's one thing to be a feminist, which I have no problem with. If you're a feminist and you just fight for equal rights, I have no problem with that. And if any of this stuff I said doesn't apply to you, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the ones that do it. And I have nothing against feminists that just want equal rights and stuff like that. I have no problem with that. That's cool and dandy, but it's just some of these women take it a little too far because they want to ruin people's lives and stuff like that. And that's the type of stuff I'm talking about. I can't stand when individuals like that take things way too far and they try to ruin people's lives. That's unacceptable, and I can't stand that stuff. Now, I was gonna do a live stream of this, but since I couldn't figure out how to get all that stuff to work, I just thought, why not just do a video on it, a very long video, so that way I can still get my points across and still talk about it and discuss it with people. And after I'm done with all this, just leave your thoughts in the comments to let me know what you think of this whole situation. Now, I'm not saying, I will say this before anybody says this, I'm not saying that I'm not defending R. Kelly for what he did. Now, I'm only defending Michael Jackson, but I'm not saying that, I'm not saying that, that the others, I'm not trying to defend the others. I'm mainly defending Michael Jackson, because this is mainly what this is about, because we all know that without a shadow of doubt these motherfuckers are lying, because even Wade Robson himself said that Michael Jackson never touched him. He was just doing that just because. So we all know that Michael Jackson is innocent and he never touched those boys. That's the way I see it, man. He may have been a weird individual to some, but I don't believe that he would go out of his way to hurt these kids and all that stuff. So the way I see it, I just think it's a bunch of bullshit. But it's just gotten out of control to the point where you can just accuse somebody of something and people run with that and lives can be ruined, and it's getting to the point where it's just ridiculous, man. Everything is flipped upside down, man. This is fucking Looney Tunes like a motherfucker. That's all I'm saying. And it's just getting to the point where it's just getting out of control. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into these videos really quick. I think I've talked long enough about this stuff. So let's go ahead and get into videos and you'll see what I'm talking about, man. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this really quick. It may be a bit laggy because like I said before, this is a pretty crappy computer, so it's not the best. So it may be laggy every once in a while. Just want to let you guys know. But alright, here we go. It's pretty crazy, man.
What's up, family? The first segment of HBO's documentary Leaving Neverland aired on Sunday, leaving Twitter ablaze with both support and condemnation about perhaps the world's biggest ever pop star, Michael Jackson. In part one of the part two series, Wade Robson and James Safechuck detailed the alleged sexual abuse Michael Jackson inflicted upon them as children.
Yeah, allegedly, with no proof or evidence, allegedly. And not to mention that Michael Jackson has been dead for nearly 10 years, and yet they're going to be coming out doing this shit again. Because this man had came out back in like 2005-06 saying the same shit, and then he keeps trying to sue the Jackson estate for money. So obviously, if that tells you anything, this is probably just doing this for money. In my opinion, he's probably just doing it for money. But allegedly.
He was one of the kindest, most gentle, loving, caring people I knew. He helped me tremendously. He helped me with my career. He helped me with my creativity and all.
And just to let you guys know, I'm not saying I agree with, pedophilia or rape. I'm just saying, when someone's lying, it's best to call that stuff out. I'm not saying I agree with rape or I agree with pedophilia. I'm just saying that if someone's lying and I know they're lying, I'm going to call them out. That's all I'm saying.
Those sorts of things. And he also sexually abused me for 7 years, Robson stated.
Allegedly, again. Allegedly. You just had to throw that out there.
Both Robson and Safechuck met Michael Jackson when they were child dancers. Robson, who has choreographed shows for Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake, met Michael Jackson when he was only 5 years old. Both men alleged that over time Michael Jackson groomed them into engaging in sexual acts with him, taking careful measures to make sure no one would find out. He would run drills with me where you'd be in a hotel room and he would pretend like somebody was coming in and you'd have to get dressed as fast as possible without making a noise, Safechuck said. So not getting caught was big, like just kind of fundamental.
But then again, like I said, that doesn't necessarily mean that he touched him, because I mean, like I said, you know, it's all about proof and evidence, because we can't just go off of he said, she said. Let me talk. He said, she said type of shit. We can't just go off of that. We got to go off of facts and evidence and stuff like that. And if he thought all this is weird, why not just talk to the mom about this type of stuff when it was happening? That's all I'm saying. It just doesn't make sense. It's almost like when those people wait till like 30, 40 years to come out and say, oh, I was raped. It's like, man, it's a little too late.
Part 1 of the documentary also alleges that Michael Jackson had inappropriate relations with Brett Barnes and Macaulay Culkin, both of whom deny any wrongdoing by Michael Jackson. Barnes took to Twitter to defend himself after the documentary aired, tweeting, "Not only do we have to deal with these lies, but we've also got to deal with people perpetuating these lies. The fact that they failed to do the small amount of research it takes to prove these are lies, by choice or not, makes it even worse."
And that is very, very true. Shout out to Brett Barnes. Shout out to you, man. I doubt you're going to watch this video, but shout out to you, man, because that is the truth. I mean, you know, that is fucking ridiculous. I mean, he's exactly right, because, I mean, this man, the whole time this man was alive, never been convicted, never went to prison, none of that stuff for this alleged abuse, and yet they're still trying to drag his name to the mud even after death. Like, come on, man, let the guy rest in peace. It's like there's no way, you know, it's no way in hell that he did some shit like that. Now, if people kept bringing up how Elvis Presley had sex with a 14-year-old when he was alive, people would be like, oh, let Elvis, you know, let Elvis rest in peace. Why do you keep dragging his name through the mud? Why do you keep talking about him? But yet they want to talk, you know, drag Michael Jackson's name through the mud even after death. Yet it's okay for them to talk about Michael Jackson, but it's not okay for people to talk about that, though. I think that's definitely some bullshit, bro. Double standard like a motherfucker. That's all I'm saying, man. Stupid as hell, bro.
Neither Barnes or Culkin was interviewed for the documentary, which I found to be very, very suspicious.
Exactly.
Also, like surviving...
Tell me if that isn't suspicious. So I totally agree with that, man. Like, if you wanted to do an interview, you would try to interview as many people as you could about the particular topic. So I don't understand why they were not interviewed, to be honest, which I don't get.
R. Kelly, Leaving Neverland, is full of graphic details and has left fans tripping as more allegations emerge. Going right back to the elephant in the room. Why did they not interview Brett Barnes and Macaulay Culkin?
Good question.
You know why? Because it didn't fit the narrative. They wanted to paint the picture of Michael Jackson being a child molester. So anybody that could offer an opposition to that, anybody could say anything different. They're like, no, we don't want that. You know what? They probably at first was like, yeah, we're gonna interview Mike, we're gonna interview Brett, let's interview Macaulay. Okay, what are they saying? No, they saying Mike didn't do anything. Oh, well, you know what? We don't want to talk to them.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way I see it. Like, that's how these motherfuckers usually roll. Like, if anyone that could actually prove that he didn't do what he did, they say that he did, they're not um, gonna interview because it'll ruin their narrative that they love to, that they've woven together, and that they, love to paint. So that way that way they can continue to paint him as a child molester and all this type of stuff. And that right there is grade A fucking bullshit. That's the way I see it, man. And I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna be as blunt as possible throughout this video. I'm just saying, because that right there is grade A bullshit. Like, you know damn well that he isn't no child molester, and yet they want to try to go out of their way to paint him as a child molester. And my question is, what do you gain from doing all this to a dead man? What are you going to get out of this? You're not going to get anything. Michael Jackson's been dead for like almost 10 years. And what are you going to gain from this? Like, what is the point of you going this far to do this interview and try to, drag his name to the mud? What is the point of it? Because what are you hoping to do? Get some money from his family? I mean, are you that desperate for money? That's all I'm saying. Like, like, there's so many things you could do for money. That's all I'm saying. But you're going out of your way to drag this man through the mud. For what purposes, man? Like, you kept trying to get this man on these charges, yet you never could. He was acquitted, and it was proven that he didn't do anything. So I don't understand why the hell some of these people are still trying to go this hard against Michael Jackson when you have everyday people around the corner that's molesting kids and raping kids, that you don't want to go after Joe Schmo over there, but yet you want to go over this man. Like, it's just stupid as hell. That's all I'm saying. Like, this shit doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up, bro.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not naive. There's absolutely no doubt that Michael Jackson put himself in the position to be a target of these allegations. In a normal society, this society that we live in, I say normal, but we really, this is not a normal society. We got a lot of crazy people here. But in the society that we live in, we don't consider it to be normal for a grown man to be sleeping in bed with children that's not his, especially little small kids and a grown man sleeping in the bed with boys. And, we just don't think that type of thing is normal.
Yeah, and I will agree with you on that. It isn't considered normal, and it is weird that, a grown man would be sleeping with kids, in a bed with kids that's not his. I do agree with you on that, but at the same time, as I said earlier in the video, it doesn't really mean that you touched him, though. But I'm just saying that, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that I agree, but I just feel like that still doesn't necessarily mean that he touched any kids, though.
But we also know that Michael Jackson just wasn't a normal type of person on any type of level.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, you gotta, with that type of person, you gotta expect that type of behavior and stuff like that. So he was always an oddball, so that just always was how it was, man.
And if that was anybody that I could give a benefit of doubt in that type of situation, it would be Michael Jackson, not because of his music, but because of his spirit. The dude just didn't come across to me as the type of person that would hurt another human being. That's all I'm saying. Now, if, the FBI investigated Mike many times. Michael Jackson had enemies out there who were very, very powerful and had connections to the FBI.
Yeah, exactly, because that's what I was saying before. The FBI had investigated him multiple times and found nothing, and he also called Tommy Mottola the devil, and he was basically saying a lot of real shit, and that's why I feel like they came at him with these allegations and stuff like that, because he was talking that real shit. And that's why I feel like these pedophilia charges popped out of nowhere. Like, I feel like he was speaking the truth about a lot of stuff. There's a clip on YouTube that you can look up where it was like, I guess you could just type in like Michael Jackson and Tommy Mottola, and I'm pretty sure that the clip will come up, and you'll see he's talking like a lot of real shit, to be honest. Because I think at one point he was saying how, a lot of white people had taken a lot of stuff from black people, and as far as like, dance moves and music and stuff like that, and a lot of stuff. So if I do a continuation of this, I may bring up that clip, but I just have to see. But if not, I'll try to have it linked down in the description so you guys can check it out. But I may try to pull up that video too at some point. But yeah, it's pretty crazy, man, how all that stuff happened after he started talking about that stuff.
So they wanted Mike real bad, but they couldn't get the evidence. They could never corroborate enough witnesses. They couldn't get enough statements together that could be corroborated to get Michael Jackson on the charges. So they had to leave him alone. So they couldn't convict him criminally in a courtroom, so people decided to convict him outside of the courtroom, in the court of public opinion.
Exactly, because that's how I look at it, man. Because, like I said before, never convicted, never went to prison, never had any evidence, proof, no, not enough stuff there to prove that he actually did this shit. So, like, as I've heard from other people, they're trying to do a public lynching, which is like basically trying to demonize him and trying to make him look like the bad guy, and they're trying to go out of their way to make him seem like he's this evil person. And that's what I mean, and that's what they're trying to do with Michael Jackson now, which I just find to be stupid as hell.
It's a cold game. It's a cold game, man. Oprah interviewed Robson and Safechuck, and she basically went in on Michael Jackson, persecuted him, convicted him.
Of course.
Really, Oprah?
Exactly.
Since you're so concerned about victims of sexual assault, let's keep it real. I want to know, when is the documentary called Escaping Harvey Weinstein going to air on your channel?
Yeah, that's a very, very good question. When is that documentary that they did gonna air on your channel? That's a good question.
No more talk.
What the haters talking about?
Okay, so that's the first video that I have on Michael Jackson. Now, let me know what you guys thought of that video. Now, that whole thing is just retarded to me, because I mean, we all know damn well there's nothing there to really say that he did that stuff. That's what I'm saying, man. There's not enough there to prove that he even did it. And even if they did prove that he did it, there's nothing really they can do to him now because, I mean, he's already dead. So it's nothing really, there's no real point in even doing this because at the end of the day, you know, it's already over with, basically. So I feel like there's just no point in even trying to go out of your way to basically to go this far with all this stuff. That's all I'm saying. Alright, here's the next video that we're gonna do. It's about Michael Jackson fans, and they're basically going to attack Oprah and basically call her out for her bullshit, basically, because we all know that was a bunch of bullshit, in my opinion, because we know damn well she wouldn't do that for Harvey Weinstein or Kevin Spacey.
What the haters talking about?
So yeah, that's the way I see it, man. So yeah, the whole thing is just stupid as hell in my opinion. That's all I'm saying, bro. So yeah. But hey.
What's up, family? Oprah Winfrey is absolutely getting murdered on the internet with hate-filled messages from Michael Jackson fans ahead of her interview with his accusers from Leaving Neverland. Oprah's interview with Michael Jackson's accusers Wade Robson and James Safechuck is set to air Monday night on HBO after part 2 of Leaving Neverland. Excerpts have already been released, and the content is clearly pissing off Michael Jackson's most passionate fans. In the clip from the interview,
and rightfully so, that's all I'm saying, because everybody knows that it's a bunch of horse shit. That's all I'm saying.
That was taped on Wednesday, Oprah says Leaving Neverland transcends Michael and speaks to a larger social issue regarding sexual abuse. She doesn't say whether she believes Robson and Safechuck or not, who previously both stated that Michael Jackson never molested them. The interview alone has still been enough to trigger this type of hate. One user posted, "If karma is real after Oprah is laid to rest, which I hope is many years from now, people will come out of the woodwork to lie on, betray, and besmirch her name the way it is being done to Michael Jackson. And people she once led into her inner circle will lead the way." Another tweet reads, "Oprah, you're disgusting, a cheap mercenary. Karma will punish you. Hashtag MJ innocent. Michael Jackson, we will fight for you."
And that is very, very true. Like they say, karma's a bitch, so I'm telling you right now, eventually it's gonna come back to bite her in the ass for doing this shit to an innocent man. So yeah, she's definitely gonna get that karma. That's all I'm saying. So I hope she's expecting it very, very soon.
Okay, the big question is, why would Oprah do something like this? Why would she give these dudes a platform to smear her supposedly friend, at least when he was alive, reputation? Why would she do that? Why, Oprah?
Exactly.
Okay, so you know that Oprah's in the media and she has a television network. And I don't know, maybe the ratings are slow or something. I don't know. But
yeah, who knows?
This was a bad look. I'm surprised that Oprah didn't pull out a doll and say, "Show me where Michael touched you."
Yeah, exactly. That's the way I see it, man, because at the end of the day, man, this whole shit is not only a waste of time, but it's like, really, is all this worth it? That's all I'm saying. Is that at the end of the day, you're basically just pulling the shit out of your ass. That's all I'm saying.
This is crazy. Why smear the man's name in death?
Exactly.
The man was exonerated. He
True.
went to court.
True.
This so-called justice system, everybody always talking about they respect.
Yeah.
This justice system that works. It's not perfect, but it works. It's the best we got.
Exactly.
So the man go to court. He gets ridiculed, gets totally embarrassed, humiliated, gets his name, his reputation dragged through the mud. And he comes out victorious. And people just can't let it go.
Exactly.
He dies, and they still can't let it go. They still coming up with stuff. And look, these guys, remember, has changed their stories many times.
Exactly.
When Michael Jackson,
Which is what I was saying earlier in the video too, that they flip-flop so much they look like a fucking magic card. That's all I'm saying. These goddamn I swear, man. Stupid ass motherfucker.
was alive, they didn't say anything worthy of conviction when Mike was alive.
Exactly.
But now that he's dead, they've switched their stories again, and now, yeah, by the way, Michael did touch us.
Yeah, which is what I was saying. Like, they need to. I feel like these two sorry son of bitches, I feel like they need to have something happen to them. I mean, they got, like, tell me how crazy this is. They're gonna give Jussie Smollett 48 years. They're thinking about giving him 48 years for lying about him being attacked by two racists wearing MAGA hats. But yet, these two fuckers are telling bold-faced lies on interviews and in court and all this other shit, but yet these two fuckers aren't facing no jail time. And we all know why. If you don't know why, just look at their face. Look real hard at their face, and you'll figure it out. But I'm just saying, like, these two fuckers aren't facing no prison time for lying, but Jussie Smollett is gonna get 48 years behind the bar. That's what they say. That's what they say.
I'm just not buying it, man. I'm not buying the inconsistency.
Me neither.
And I'm not buying Oprah's reasoning for doing this interview, whatever it is. It don't even matter what she says, because she should not have done this. If you're really Michael Jackson's friend, if you really are a friend of the Jacksons, why would you give his enemies, why would you give their enemies a platform to drag their brother?
That's very, very true. Like they always say, man, there are snakes in the grass, and that's why you gotta cut this shit, man. You gotta, as soon as these snakes show you their fangs, you gotta chop the head off at the base. You gotta cut these motherfuckers off as soon as possible, because it's no use in wasting time with these individuals. That's all I'm saying, because all that is gonna do is just bring you more pain and suffering. So you gotta let some of these individuals go. That's all I'm saying, man.
Their son, their uncle's name through the mud. Why would you do that? Why haven't you done that for Jeffrey Epstein? This is a guy who has been accused, convicted, and sentenced to 13 months in prison for an actual molestation that was proven.
Exactly. And that's what I've been saying, man. Like, there are people out here that have legitimately molested and raped people, yet they're either getting months in prison or probation, or not even getting convicted at all of the rapes or molestations. But yet, if a black man has a small amount of weed, he's going to jail for football numbers. Yet these fuckers are raping and molesting fucking kids and women and sometimes men, and yet these fuckers are being let off easily, and or not facing that much time for a fucking federal crime that they did. As far as I know, with a rape, usually that's at least over 10 years. And half of these motherfuckers are getting months for this type of shit. And that's what I'm saying. That type of shit doesn't make sense to me. But like Phil from the Advice Show said, if you try to figure out a racist, you'll go insane yourself trying to figure out the reason behind what they do. It's stupid as hell, man.
Where's the interview with his victims?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I want to know. Where's the interview with...
Where's the Escaping Jeffrey Epstein documentary? Where's that at? Where's where's Leaving Roman Polanski? Where are those documentaries at? Oh yeah, Roman Polanski, he's a beloved director. Oh yeah, we can't touch him. Like, that's stupid as shit, man. That's all I'm saying.
Harvey Weinstein's victims. Oh, that's right. That's your boy. That's your homie. Can't interview his victims. Wouldn't be right. It's cold-blooded, man.
Exactly.
I got a question for y'all. All you people out there that's always... Don't get me wrong, she's done some great things. But she do have flaws. And she have made some very, very questionable calls throughout her career. And when I called them out, people were just dismissive. Oh man, you're reacting, you're tripping, but it's Oprah. I got the question. Do y'all believe Monique now?
Exactly.
No more talk.
What the haters talking about?
That's the way I see it. That whole situation is just stupid as shit, to be honest, man. And I just want to say shout out to you, Willie D. Shout out to you for making these videos. I love your channel. I'm subscribed to your channel. I watch all your stuff, and I definitely appreciate you making these types of videos, man, and speaking out against these racist motherfuckers. I definitely agree with you. I doubt you're gonna watch this video, but if you somehow do, shout out to you, man. I definitely appreciate your videos and everything. Not to kiss ass or nothing, but I'm just saying I really like your stuff. But yeah, you guys tell me how that shit makes sense. That's all I'm saying. That man was convicted of molesting somebody, yet for some reason he's not even going to jail or prison. I mean, tell me how that makes sense. Let me see. What's the next video that we can check out? Which one is this? I don't even remember which one was that. Oh yeah, it was okay, it was a Vice show. Okay. Next one I'm gonna do is Terran Rain Reloaded. He did a few videos on Michael Jackson himself, so I guess we'll check out his, and then we'll check out Vice show, and then we'll get into the next topic of the video.
Shout out to Caressa Me Knight for sending me this bit of news involving the king of music. Remember, I don't like to limit him to pop because he covered many genres. There's an old saying, you just can't keep a good guy down. And the reason I'm saying that is because after all this stuff has come out about with Michael Jackson, with this Leaving Neverland BS and Oprah Winfrey and her crap,
Oh yeah, just to fill you guys in, with Tyrion, he has this thing where instead of calling her Oprah Winfrey, he calls her Okra Winfrey, just like a name that he came up with for her. So just want to let you guys know that
Jackson from beyond the grave is still winning. And the reason I say that is because even though many radio stations around the globe have decided to not play his music, which I think is just silly.
Yeah, exactly.
And they pulled maybe a statue or two down to him. Okay, whatever. They'll probably be back up somewhere.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson still manages to win even while taking the eternal rest. because according to this article coming from The Independent, it says Michael Jackson's albums climbed the charts following leaving Neverland broadcast. So that means as soon as that documentary was done, I'm sorry, fraudumentary was done airing,
Yeah,
his albums started to climb back onto the charts.
which is very, very good. I'm glad that that happened too, to be honest, because I'm so glad that a lot of his fans and a lot of new people are really sticking with Michael and still enjoying his music and still listening to his music and everything, because I'm telling you, motherfuckers really need to stick together, because this shit is, like he said, fraudumentary. So no one needs to listen to their BS, because all they're doing is just lying on this man's name. That's the way I see it.
Not up the charts and on back onto the charts, because they went off, but now they're back on. So I'm going to go ahead and read this article. It says, following the broadcast of Leaving Neverland on Channel 4, Michael Jackson's albums have climbed the UK album charts. Now we're talking over in the United Kingdom, over there across the pond. The documentary features extensive interviews with two men who accused the singer of molesting them as boys.
Allegedly. I'm going to keep saying that too, because allegedly it happened. Or in my opinion, it didn't happen. Which it didn't, because they didn't have any proof or evidence, and he wasn't charged or convicted of the crime, so it didn't happen to me. It didn't happen to me. You guys may say that it did, but I don't think it did. And that's my opinion, and that's your opinion, so that's the way I feel. And no, I don't know Michael Jackson personally. I've never been to his house. I've never seen what happened behind closed doors, but I just have a feeling that he didn't do it, and he never was convicted, so there you go. That's all the proof I need right there. But I just want to let you guys know that I may have to do a part 2 to this. I'm not saying that I don't know if I will or not, but I might, depending on how the computer acts tonight. I may be able to do it all in one part, but if the computer starts acting stupid, I might have to do it in 2 parts, just to let you guys know. But yeah, it's just all this is just lies and fraudumentary thing.
Lying ass Wade Robson and lying ass James Safechuck.
Exactly.
The 4-hour-long film premiered at the Sundance Film Festival in Utah earlier this year.
Wait, that shit was 4 hours? Hell no, man. Like, some people are saying, well, oh, if you didn't watch Surviving R. Kelly, and oh, if you didn't watch Leaving Neverland, how can you tell if he's lying? I don't need to know. I don't need to watch that shit to know that they're lying. All I gotta do is just look at the times that they tried to do that back in the past and know their fucking asses were lying. I could just look at what happened in the past, all the evidence and stuff that was, and all the stuff that happened before this whole shit happened. I could just go back and look at that, since I have the internet, and I can just go back and look and know that they're lying the whole time. So I don't need to watch that shit to know that they're lying.
It left audience members shocked by the details of the allegations. The Jackson estate has since called the fraudumentary, a public lynching,
Exactly.
and has begun the process of
And that's what I said, man. That's exactly what I said earlier when I was watching Willie D. I said that it was a public lynching, and it definitely is.
suing HBO, who co-produced the film with Channel 4, for $100 million. Fans of Jackson have also protested the documentary, with Michael Jackson innocent posters appearing around London. Despite the controversy, Michael Jackson's music has surged up the UK iTunes charts. As of writing, the singer's compilation album Number 1 sits at number 23 on the charts, having previously been reported to be at 87. Now, what's interesting is it says that previously at 87, so this was before the thing aired, so it was already on the charts. But now it went and jumped up many spaces to the point where it's in the top 30.
Oh yeah, and real quick, I just want to say fuck Drake. Fuck Drake, because after all this stuff happened, when the documentary came out and all that stuff, all the accusations and stuff were being thrown around, this bitch ass motherfucker had the nerve. He sampled a Michael Jackson song, and he was rapping or singing over it. And he had the nerve to pull that song, I think, off of his album or playlist or whatever the fuck it was. He had the nerve to pull that shit off of one of them things and do all that shit. I'm like, man, fuck you. If it was me, I would have kept that shit on there. I'd have been like, man, you know what? Fuck y'all. Y'all can kiss my ass. I'm keeping this shit on here. That's what I would have did. But I tell you, man, we got some of these motherfuckers out here will bend to everybody's will. They'll try to do anything to save face, that way they can keep their fans and money and all that shit, man. And you got no dignity, no integrity, no respect, no nothing. That's what I'm saying. No fucking morals, no nothing. That's what I'm saying. Fuck these, fuck him, and Wade Robson, and that Safe Chuck motherfucker. Fuck them.
The top 25, I should say. The Essential Michael Jackson has climbed to 76, while Thriller has climbed to 133 and Bad to 142. Leaving Neverland was broadcast in 2 parts. Following the Frogumentary's complete showing, many people vowed never to listen to Jackson's music again. Where have we heard that lie before?
Exactly. And I'm telling you right now, after I get done doing this video, I'm gonna make sure I go listen to Michael Jackson after I get done on my phone. I'm gonna plug my earphones in, and I'm gonna make sure I listen to some Michael Jackson after this, because fuck y'all, fuck Wade Robinson, fuck that Safe Chuck motherfucker, fuck Drake. I don't care. We know that Michael Jackson didn't do it, and there was proof that he didn't do it. So y'all can get the fuck out of here with that. I'm still listening to his music, because I love Michael Jackson. I always will love him. Y'all need to go after these real pedophiles and these real rapists. They don't look like Michael Jackson. They sure as hell ain't black, I'll tell you that. So y'all need to go after them real fucking rapists and molesters, and stop worrying about someone that's dead and didn't fucking do it. That's the way I see it.
Some radio stations have taken Jackson's music out of circulation, while the creators of The Simpsons have taken their Jackson starring episode.
And fuck them too. Fuck the Simpsons creators too, because they know goddamn well that he didn't do it, yet they still pull the shit down anyways. Fuck them.
Out of circulation. When people say that they're not going to listen to his music again, I laugh, because it's like, okay, you're just like a small few out of the millions of people who don't believe the crap that's put in front of them. But
exactly.
Do you, I guess. And Michael Jackson will continue to do him even in the afterlife. I said, people don't realize how much influence this man had. I was on a panel today with Lisa Cabrera and True Royal Family, and we were discussing Michael Jackson and the legacy that he left behind. This man was more than just his music and his artistry. This man was about his business. Let me just give you a little bit of a rundown. Michael Jackson owned the Beatles catalog. I believe Michael Jackson, after he married and then later divorced Lisa Marie Presley, got Elvis's catalog. He almost bought Marvel, just in case y'all didn't know, as in Marvel Comics. He almost owned that in a joint venture with Stan Lee, but it fell through.
Unfortunately.
And his biggest venture, of course, was him owning over half of Sony's publishing. That right there could have made him retire forever. They hated when he got that. But I think they really hated when he called Tommy Mottola the devil in front of the world. Like, imagine as a black man calling a Jewish man the devil in front of the world. That took a lot of balls, especially when you knew you had an album about to come out under the same label that Tommy Mottola ran.
Exactly, and that's the way I see it, man. And that's exactly what I said earlier. And yeah, I do agree. That does take a lot of balls to do that, man, because not too many people would do that, bro. Not too many people would do that. And that's why I got respect for Michael. Not only because he made good music, and he just seemed like a cool person, and he also did some shit like that. That takes a lot of balls, bro. Because I'm telling you, Jewish people don't like it when you call them out on their bullshit. Same thing with some Jewish people and some white people. They don't like you calling their bullshit out, man. When you call them out and you know damn well that they know that they did that shit, they don't like that, man.
And he said it unapologetically. You can go online and look up that video if you want to. He almost didn't say it, but you know what, the fans was like, no, Michael, tell us what you want to say. And he's like, okay, I'll tell you. And when he said it, them fans went crazy.
Yeah.
Because they had always heard stuff about Tommy Mottola in the past, especially since him and Mariah Carey, of course, if y'all remember, were married at one time and he kind of did her dirty. But that's like another story for another time. But yeah, the king, they don't call him the king for nothing. This man manages to bounce back, and he's not even here with us physically. He's doing more in death than some people who are doing alive. That says
Exactly.
something. Y'all let me know what you think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and I will talk to you in the next one.
Alright. I'm just gonna let you guys know now. The next two videos are like 14 minutes long, so I'm just gonna let you guys know that these next two videos are gonna be pretty long. So I'm just saying, just make sure you got everything you need, and you've done everything you need to do, because these next two videos are gonna be really, really long. I think both videos are like 14 minutes. So I'm just saying, just be ready for a long sit down. That's all I'm saying, man. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a king, and I definitely would call him that, man.
One of my Twitter followers by the name of Black Barbie, and shout out.
The way I see it, man, I consider Michael Jackson more of a king of rock than Elvis Presley's old nasty ass. And like, I feel like, and have we forgotten about Jimi Hendrix? Everybody remember Jimi Hendrix? He was a rock star too at one point during the 70s. So I consider, to be honest, if we're talking about the king of rock and roll, I consider him to be more of a king of rock than Elvis Presley's old goddamn, silverback gorilla looking ass. That's the way I see it. So yeah, I'll never call him the king of rock. And that's the way I see it. At the end of the day, I don't care who gets offended, bro. Like, I do not like fucking Elvis Presley. I never liked him, never will. I hate that motherfucker, man, with a passion. So I don't care, bro. Who gets offended, man? That ugly motherfucker.
Out to her, by the way, sent me this article that literally made me almost do one of those owl 360 head turns. Made me give a mean side eye.
Yeah.
Because I could not believe what I was reading. And it literally took me aback. And usually a lot of things don't catch me by surprise, but this one actually did. So you see in this image is Corey Feldman and Michael Jackson. And we know that Corey Feldman has known Michael Jackson for years. Like, Corey Feldman knew Michael Jackson all the way back when Corey Feldman was, very popular in Hollywood as a teen star. And, I'm sure Corey Haim most likely knew him too.
Yep.
And there was always like allegations saying that Michael Jackson might have did something inappropriate with Corey Feldman. And Corey Feldman always was like on the defense of Michael Jackson's like, look, Michael Jackson never did anything inappropriate to me. He never touched me. He never molested me or anything like that, or what the tabloids is putting out there. And I'm not going to allow people to try to manipulate and tell me that, otherwise. But I do have a list of people who have done some stuff to me and to others, but you're going to end up silencing me anyway. So it's like, I'll just hold on to these names.
Yeah, and at one point, just in case if you guys don't know this, at one point Elijah Wood, he was going to come out and start exposing people too that were pedophiles, but unfortunately he never came out because I think they were going to try to do something to him. I'm not entirely too sure, but at one point he was going to expose them too, but fortunately we never got to figure out who those particular people were, unfortunately.
And that's what they tried to do, and that's why Corey Feldman's career kind of tanked after a few years, because he was about to drop the bomb on him. But what recently just came out, and what I'm going to read from in people.com, it says that Corey Feldman says he can no longer defend Michael Jackson amid horrendous allegations. And I'm sitting there like, something about this just doesn't sound right. Like, how did you go from defending Michael Jackson for all these years to saying you can no longer defend him? Like, something happened, and something clicked in my head and said, I think Corey Feldman is probably feeling the squeeze right now, or somebody probably slid him some money, because they know Corey Feldman is like that Trojan horse. because he's been screaming and yelling about these pedophiles for years in Hollywood.
Yep, exactly.
And see, they're not allowing him to really come forth and tell the people by name who the true pedophiles are, whether they are alive or deceased. They really want him to say something bad about Michael Jackson. Now I'm going to go ahead and read this article, but there's something else I'm going to mention, but I'm going to wait till the end. It says, although Corey...
I'm just going to let you guys know, I'm going to try not to pause this video too much and just let it rock, because this video is like 14 minutes long, so I want to try to get through it so that way I can get to the next one, and that way I can get to the other videos that I'm planning on touching upon, so that way I can kind of keep this under an hour, so I won't be here for too much longer. So I'm going to try not to pause it too much.
Feldman was friends with Michael Jackson. The former child star says that in wake of the allegations made against the late singer in the documentary Leaving Neverland, he can no longer defend Jackson. On Wednesday, Feldman appeared on CNN Headline News to further clarify comments he made on Monday afternoon, after HBO had aired the first part of the bombshell documentary, but before airing the second, in which he criticized the film, calling it one-sided. Sharing that this has been a very emotional time for me, Feldman, age 47, began explaining his earlier tweets by asking people to put themselves in my shoes. You're a kid who...
Well, technically, yeah, the documentary is one-sided because Michael Jackson is dead and he can't defend himself, so you're basically throwing mud at the dead man, and he's not even here to be able to counter-argue, you know, that against your lies. So, of course it is one-sided, and that's how these things always are.
Who has endured sexual abuse during those times. I'm looking to somebody like Michael Jackson as a friend, as a big brother figure, and he was that person to me, he said. However, as you're friends with this guy, all of a sudden you start to hear more and more accusations thrown around by various people. It comes to a point where, as an advocate for victims, as an advocate for changing the statutes of limitations to make sure victims' voices are heard, it becomes impossible for me to remain virtuous and not at least consider what's being said and not listen to what the victims are saying. Adding that is very important to...
Which I can't necessarily disagree with, but here's the thing. Here's the thing you have to understand, though, Corey Feldman, is that I only trust victims that haven't been proven to be lying. If they've been proven to be telling the truth, then I can actually believe them. But these motherfuckers have been proven to be lying and flip-flopping. So that's why I can't believe these individuals, because it's already proven that man did nothing. So how can I believe these victims when they're not even telling the fucking truth themselves? That's the way I see it, man. Like, I can't trust anybody that isn't even telling the truth themselves. Like, come on, man. Like, that would just be stupid of me to do. I'm not just gonna blindly believe the victims unless I know that they actually are telling the truth and actually have the proof and evidence to back it up. That's all I'm saying. If you ain't got the proof and evidence to back it up, I'm not gonna believe you, man. That's all I'm saying.
To consider all sides of this, even as uncomfortable as that might be. The former Lost Boys star...
Well, that's a stupid thing to do. That's all I'm saying. Hey, you say it's uncomfortable, but I call it stupid.
Claimed in his 2013 memoir, Choreography, that he and fellow child actor Corey Haim, who died in 2010, had been sexually abused by people in the industry. Although the Los Angeles Police Department looked into the claims after Feldman filed them in 2017, the case was dropped due to the expired statute of limitations. Feldman, who insisted that absolutely nothing inappropriate had happened between him and Jackson, went on to share that although he can no longer defend the pop star, he doesn't want to judge him either. I don't want to be perceived as I'm here to defend Michael Jackson because I no longer can do that. I cannot in good conscience defend someone who's being accused of such horrendous things. But at the same time, I'm also not here to judge him because, again, he did not do those things to me, and that was not my experience. Now, see, here's where...
And I feel like that's just a bunch of BS to save face, to see, so that way he can kind of teeter the line. That way he'll look like he's not taking sides, and that way he can kind of still be in the good graces of people. And like, man, you get the fuck out of here, your goddamn tight rope walking ass.
He kind of slipped up right here. I really want you to pay attention to this part. He said he can no longer defend him, but he does not want to judge him because he did not do those things to me.
Yep.
I don't know if Corey Feldman will be able to hear this or not, but let's hypothetically say that he does. Corey, by you saying that, what you're telling the masses is that because this did not happen to me personally, that it most likely could not have happened to anybody else. And that does not look, nor does it sound good.
Yeah.
Because see, like I said, Corey Feldman is that Trojan horse. They know that he has been making a lot of noise over the years, probably being one of the loudest. Because Corey Feldman, let's put it this way. Corey Feldman got off cold. Big time. He's probably one of the most off cold white people in America right now. And by him saying that, they're going to look at him like, wow, we didn't expect this. Now we may have him on our side.
Yeah, I guess so.
Which I highly doubt.
Yeah.
Because I think that he's still, like you said, he's still an advocate. But I don't think Corey should have said that. Because in their minds, that's what they're going to think. Oh, because it didn't happen to me, it's impossible that it's happening to these other people that have these claims. And see, I don't know if he should have watched that documentary, or I don't know if someone paid him or what. I don't know the circumstances of it, but I don't think him saying that statement was good, because in the eyes of the public and the masses or the media, especially lamestream media, they're going to take it the way that I just gave it. Oh, because it didn't happen to Corey Feldman, then the other people it didn't happen to, because Michael Jackson wouldn't do such a thing.
Yeah.
Although we know that the FBI,
which I personally believe that he wouldn't do, but that's just me. Like I said before, everyone has their opinions, and that just happened to be mine. So yeah, that's all I'm saying.
has been pretty much investigating Michael Jackson, probably through surveillance or whatever means that they use in technology, for years and never found anything. I don't know why people continue to negate that fact. But anyway, let me continue going. Continuing, Feldman apologized to anybody who took his earlier tweets out of context, assumed the actor was questioning the validity of the victims. Speaking of leaving Neverland, Feldman admitted that although he watched the first...
Oh, get the fuck out of here, man. Like I'm telling you, these motherfuckers aren't victims. They weren't fucking molested. This is what I'm talking about. This is the type of shit that they're actually real victims out here that don't get this type of treatment, yet they'll believe the fake victims, but when real victims actually come out and say they were raped or molested, they get overshadowed by these lying fuckers. And that's the type of shit that I hate. When actual victims don't even get this much attention, or actually get this type of justice, when they actually are raped and molested. And when they go to the cops and tell them what happened, usually nothing really comes from it. But yet they'll believe these two slimy snail motherfuckers. Swear.
First part, to be honest with you, it was
fucking snakes.
It was very emotional, it was very painful, and I couldn't watch all of it. Asked to speak to the allegations made in the film, Feldman said the accusations were shocking and disturbing. There's nothing else that can be said of it. Speaking about the interview on Twitter, Feldman went on to call it the hardest interview I had ever done, adding that his heart's with all victims and the children of Michael Jackson who are also victims in all of this. The late pop star's children, Prince Michael, age 22, Paris, age 20, and 17-year-old Blanket, who now goes by I don't know if that's BG, because it's spelled B-I-G-I, so I'm guessing it's BG, have yet to directly address the documentary. On Wednesday, a source told People that Paris, who has been open about the lasting impact her father made on her life, hasn't seen the explosive documentary. And you know what? I don't think, if his kids haven't watched it, I don't think that they should, because it's just going to be a bunch of lies anyway. Feldman.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way I see it, man. So if I was them, I wouldn't even waste my time to watch it, because I haven't even watched it, because I'm not going to give that shit the time of day, because I know it's a bunch of lies, so I'm not even going to bother with it. So I don't think they should watch that bullshit either, to be honest, but that's all I'm saying.
First shared his feelings about the documentary in a lengthy series of tweets on Monday afternoon. #Neverland. Okay, I watched it all. I know what is what I know is what I experienced, and yes, every experience was the same, right up to the sex part. That is where it becomes La La Land instead of Neverland for me, he said. We never spoke about sex other than a few warnings about how sex was scary and dangerous. Michael Jackson never once swore in my presence, never touched me inappropriately, and never suggested we be lovers in any way. Adding that he was not present at the same time as Wade Robson, that liar, and James Safechuck, the other liar. The two Jackson accusers featured in the documentary, Feldman said he is still friends.
And see, and that's the thing that pisses me off. If he was that way with Corey Feldman, when Corey Feldman was a fucking kid, Corey Feldman knew him as a kid and they hung out when he was a kid. So if he was that way with Corey Feldman, what makes you fucking think that he was that way with the other two lying sacks of shit? That's the way I see it. So come on, man. What makes you think he was, if he was that way with Corey Feldman, what makes you think he was that? He would act any differently with the other two motherfuckers. That's all I'm saying. So, and that's what pisses me off. People believe this shit, and yet still no evidence or proof that he did it. So, if he was that way with Corey Feldman, I'm pretty sure he was the same way with the other two.
With many children who say Jackson never acted inappropriately with them. So as much as those two men deserve to have their voices heard, so do the thousands of kids who hung around him that don't agree. He continued, most pedophiles are serial offenders. They don't have self-control, so given the opportunity, which he certainly had with me and others being alone with no parents around, how did he control those urges so well, while so blatantly sexual with those two boys? It doesn't really fit the profile. So it seems like right now it's like he's trying to clean up what he said. He went on to share that he really took issue with is the fact that this whole thing is one-sided with no change of a defense from a dead man and no evidence other than the word of two men who as adults defended him in court.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. What I've been saying this whole time. Bullshit, man.
Which is a very valid point. But
exactly.
As we will never really know, I only have my memories, and thank God for me, my memories of Michael Jackson were mostly fond, aside from one and only fight because he incorrectly feared I would turn on him and make up lies. I never did, I never would. I pray those boys can sleep with that same clarity of consciousness. Let God be thy judge, he added. Feldman went on to clarify his tweets in a statement provided to CNN on Tuesday. I want to be very clear. I stand for any and all victims of sexual abuse or assault. As a survivor and someone who has been fighting for this to become a focal topic of our society for decades and is fighting diligently to abolish the statutes of limitations across the country, I applaud all victims for letting their voices be heard, and I encourage the public debate to continue. He also reiterated that Jackson's...
And I only stand with the ones that are actually telling the truth. I stand with the actual victims that actually are telling the truth and not lying. I don't just believe any and everybody. If something seems fishy and it seems like they're lying, I'm probably not going to believe them. And I only believe the victims that actually are telling the truth. That's the way I see it. I don't believe liars, man. I don't believe liars.
Accusers deserve to be heard in an interview with the New York Post Page 6, which also published on Tuesday. I'm not saying that they are lying. I wasn't there. Every victim's voice must be taken seriously and must be heard. I'm in no way would I ever intimate that I would want them to be silent. All I can say is that my heart goes out to both of them, and if for any reason the things are proven true, I will be in full support of them. He continued before adding that he was wary of making too quick of a pronouncement. I don't think anyone can take the...
Now, I'm just saying, if I'm wrong, then I apologize, but I feel like I'm right. So, I feel like this is nothing but just bullshit. That's all I'm saying. So, if I am wrong, I will be mad enough to say that I'm apologize, and it's sad to hear that happen, but I feel like I'm right on this one, man. I feel like I have, I'm definitely right on this. So yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Allegations lightly, but I also don't think we should go making a judgment on information that we have that's strictly conversation without backup. And then the rest of it just goes into the information about the documentary, which we already know and really don't care about. Yeah. Like I said, this whole thing that Corey Feldman just said, it seems shaky to me. It really does. Like, I feel like somebody got to him or got in his ear, or maybe him watching that documentary did something. That's why why do y'all think I keep calling mainstream media what it is? Because it's amazing. People were on Michael Jackson's side up until this documentary came out, and then all of a sudden, like a light switch, everybody just like switched overnight and said, "Oh, he did it. Oh, he did it."
Exactly, because I've always been on Michael Jackson's side, and I always will be on his side. And that's very true. It's funny how these people all of a sudden switch sides like real quick when this documentary came out, and all of a sudden, oh yeah, yeah, he molested him. Yeah, he did. He definitely did it. Yeah, 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 yeah. He's a monster. He's a criminal. He's an evil person. But before that, they were like, yeah, Michael Jackson is innocent. He did nothing wrong. I swear, man, people switch up on you real fast.
That's because mainstream media does a very good job of getting inside of the minds and the mental of people and getting them to think a certain way. I've always said that mental slavery and mental enslavement will always be more powerful and more effective than physical. Mainstream media is a form of mental enslavement.
Which is very, very true. That's the way I see it, man. That's part of the reason why I've stopped watching mainstream media, because they lie, 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 and lie. And that's why I watch most of the stuff I get from YouTube. So, and that's why I trust people on YouTube a lot more than I do mainstream media.
And that documentary or fraudumentary or mockumentary is definitely poison. That's why I refuse to watch it, because I don't believe anything that's in it. I truly believe deep down in my soul that Michael Jackson is innocent.
And I say the same thing when I was talking to my brother. When I was talking to my brother about this situation, and just going through all the bullshit, I said the same thing. I feel it deep down in my soul that he is innocent and these motherfuckers are lying. They're only trying to do this because they want to be famous and or get money, in my opinion. And I feel like he's innocent, you know. So they need to get the fuck out of here with this. That's all I'm saying, because they know it's bullshit and we know it's bullshit.
Of all these allegations that were put upon him, was he weird in his own way? Yes. But then again, no one's perfect. There's no such thing as the perfect person.
Exactly.
But I highly doubt that he did what they have accused him of, all the way going back to 1993 and 2005 and whatever else they come up with. And I think, like I said, the worst part about this whole thing is the fact that this man is dead and has been dead for almost 10 years, and they will not let the man rest.
Exactly. That's the way I see it. Man's been dead for almost 10 years and y'all still trying to go after him. Like, give this shit a rest. That's all I'm saying. Get the fuck out of here. Get a regular job like everybody else, man. Get the fuck out of here. But, yeah, just tell me this. Answer this down in the comments. Does Michael Jackson look like the type of person that would hurt a fly? Does he even look like he would hurt a fly? To me, he doesn't look like a person that would hurt a fly. So if he wouldn't even hurt a fly, what makes you think that he would molest these two boys? That's all I'm saying.
They are just upset that this man, who has been dead for almost a decade, still has a lot of influence amongst the masses, and they can't take that away. They cannot take it away, but they feel that the only way that they can do this is to tarnish his legacy and his image, but they cannot do it.
Exactly.
It is ineffective. So they might as well just stop dead in their tracks right now, but they won't. They can't.
Yep.
I guess the next question for me is this: who will be next? Because you know there's going to be a next person, and there's going to be a person after that, and a person after that. And black people, we better get it together, because there will be another person, and y'all better be prepared, because we can't keep falling for their trickery.
Yeah, it's funny. I was talking to my brother about this too, and we were saying who's going to be next, and I said, how much you gonna bet they're going to try to go after Tupac next? I'm calling it right now. They're going to try to go after Tupac, because if you don't keep up with hip-hop like that, I'm going to let you know some stuff. Back when Tupac was alive, he had got some fellatio from this chick in the club, They go back to the hotel room. The chick has sex with all of his friends in another room in the hotel, and he's sleeping in the opposite end of the hotel in his own room by himself. And then next thing you know, this dirty bitch is going to the fucking cops and everything and telling everybody that Tupac fucking raped her. Next thing you know, he's spending time behind bars because of this dirty bitch lying on him when he wasn't even the one that fucking had sex with her that night. And I told my brother, how much you want to bet they're going to go after Tupac next? How much you want to bet? And tarnish his legacy. I mean, they're already going after one dead man. They're probably going to go after another dead black man. Because they know that Tupac was just like Michael Jackson, where he spoke out against the establishment, the government, and all these other people. And since his mom was like a Black Panther and she was a part of that type of stuff, and same thing with his dad, and they didn't like that type of stuff. So I was like, yep, they're probably going to go after him next. Which I won't be surprised if they do, because this is the type of shit they do.
I've already been done with that. I'm glad that I have removed myself from that. It's time that many of you do the same.
Exactly.
This is all I have for this video right here. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I will talk to you in the next one.
Alright. That's the end of that video. Now we're going to go into the next one. And then after this video, I'm going to be moving on to the next topic, which is going to be about, since they want to talk about, Michael Jackson molesting people and so-called raping people, I thought, why not bring some dirt up on some people that they don't want to talk about? And I was like, yeah, why not go look through some videos and see what I can find? And so we're going to be doing that next after this last video on Michael Jackson. So I thought, why not go ahead and we'll go ahead and do this. Yeah. Sorry if the computer's a bit slow. It's like, just does this after a while. If the computer's been on for a while, it'll start acting slow and everything. So I apologize for that. It's just gonna take a few seconds for the thing to pull up. So, but yeah. Because I'm calling that shit now. They're probably gonna go after Tupac or somebody, or they probably try to go after Biggie or some shit. Who knows, man? There's a lot of people they could try to go after, to be honest, because they are known. Because they're known to do this type of shit. So yeah, be on the lookout for that, man. That's all I'm saying.
HBO decided to put out a documentary about the late Michael.
Oh yeah, I just want to say shout out to Terrian, Brain Reloaded. Shout out to him. Yeah, I love your videos, man. I'm subscribed to your channel. Every time you upload a new video, I always try to make some time to watch it. Yeah, I definitely love your content. Keep on doing what you're doing, because you're definitely doing a service, man. So I definitely appreciate that. And what I'll do is, when I get the chance, I'll leave the links to the channels in the description box. That way you guys can go watch the original videos and actually go, subscribe to their channels and all that stuff. So I'll leave the links in the description box so you guys can go do that. But alright, let's hop into this video though. Just in case if you guys don't know, this is Philip Scott from the Advised Show. And he's another person I'm subscribed to, and shout out to you, Phil. I definitely, think I've been watching your content for a long time now. I think since like 2013, 2014. So I've definitely been watching for a good while. I'm definitely subscribed and everything, and I'm also subscribed to Advised Show Media, which I'll have in the link to in the description box below too, so you guys can check that stuff out too. And he also has another channel that's called Cops on Blast, that I'll try to put in the description too. But yeah, I think you do great work, and I definitely love watching your videos, because I pretty much agree with you. Every time I watch one of your videos, I pretty much end up agreeing with you, because I have to think same sort of, you know, same sort of mindset. So yeah, I definitely love the work of the content, man. Keep up the good work. Um, but yeah, let's go ahead and get into it.
Jackson, the king of pop. Now, this documentary isn't celebrating his life, showing things about Michael Jackson maybe his fans did not know. No, this documentary, Leaving Neverland, is one of the most evil, lying, treacherous things that HBO could put out about Michael Jackson.
Exactly.
Now, they bring out some boys who were discredited, no proof of anything back when Michael Jackson was alive. Now they're saying that repeatedly they were molested by Michael Jackson after the man is dead and gone and the man cannot defend himself. See, even when a black man is dead, they're trying to smear you and ruin your legacy. Now, people that was alive during that time period or grew up with Michael Jackson like I did, I remember when all these accusations was coming out about Michael Jackson. I remember when the FBI was investigating Michael Jackson, or he had his court cases. I remember all of that. Now, Michael Jackson may not be here to defend himself, but there was some footage that I found. We even posted it to our Twitter page as well. Well, Michael Jackson's going to tell you exactly when all the negativity and accusations about him came out. But I want you to listen to this 2-minute clip from Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah, and this is the clip I was talking about. This is the exact clip I was talking about where he was talking about how Tommy Mottola was the devil and all that stuff. So at least now you guys won't have to look it up or anything. So here it is right here. So that's good. That I don't have to do this in another video. I can just do it right now. So that's good. See, but listen to this man. He's telling the truth. Just listen closely.
I broke Elvis's records. I broke Beatles' records. The minute it became the all-time best-selling albums in history in the Guinness Book of World Records, overnight they called me a freak. They called me a homosexual. They called me a child molester. They said I tried to bleach my skin. They made everything to turn the public against me.
And that's exactly what they did to Tupac. They tried to, you know, when he was doing a lot of stuff, they tried to slander him in the media. You know, they tried to talk about the whole rape thing, and they did the same exact thing to Tupac when he was alive.
This is all complete conspiracy. You have to know that. I know my race.
You know, and this was in 2001, man. So that tells you right there. Like in 2001, I was like 5 years old, so I don't really remember a whole lot about this stuff. But yeah, he's definitely right about that, man. It's like as soon as he was breaking Guinness World Book of World Records, as soon as he started breaking records, that's when they started saying that bullshit.
Look in the mirror. I know I'm black. They manipulate our history books. The history books are not true. It's a lie. The history books are lying. You need to know that. You must know that. All the forms of popular music, from jazz to hip hop to bebop to soul, you know, to you talk about the different dances, from the cakewalk to the jitterbug to the Charleston to break dancing. All these are forms of black dancing. These things are very important, but if you go to the bookstore down the corner, you won't see one black person on the cover.
Exactly. That's very, very, very true. All that stuff comes from black people. And same thing with music, you know, rock, country, hip-hop, pop, rock and roll, all those types of music, jazz, soul, bebop, all the different types of music comes from black people. Yet Elvis, his old peanut butter sandwich eating ass, wants to come out and say he's the king of rock, man. Like, nah, there's like 50 million other people I consider the king of rock before his goddamn ass. That's the way I see it, man. So he needs to get the fuck out of here. And here we go. Here. Speaking of the devil himself, here we go.
You see Elvis Presley. You see the Rolling Stones. But where are the real pioneers who started? Otis Blackwell was a prolific, phenomenal writer. He wrote some of the greatest Elvis Presley songs ever. And this was a black man.
See? And that's the way I see it. See? Even Elvis Presley didn't write his own goddamn songs. So how can he be the king of rock when he doesn't even write his own shit? He's like the Drake of the 50s, the way I see it. And that's sad. See, he said the man died penniless. Otis Blackwell died penniless, while Elvis Presley fucking died with shit ton of money.
So you heard it from Michael himself. When he outsold Elvis, he outsold the Beatles. When he made the Guinness Book of World Records, then they start saying that he was a freak and he's a homosexual and that he's a child molester. And that sounds about right. Yeah. And did you hear Michael? He said he looked in the mirror, he see a black man, he's black. He had no problem telling people he was black.
Yeah, and I'm the same exact way. Some people may say I'm mixed and whatever the fuck else, but when I look in the mirror, I see myself as a black man, and nobody's gonna tell me different, man. That's the way I see it, man. So, and that's the problem with a lot of some of these. I'm not gonna say some. I'm not gonna say all, but some of these black folks out here need to start learning that too, because at the end of the day, you're black, so you need to kind of watch what you do. That's all I'm saying.
Michael was definitely within his blackness. I know Michael had his own issues. Who don't have their own issues? But Michael loves to be a black man. I remember when they had even asked Michael Jackson that who would you like to play you in a movie if somebody portrayed you? Would it be somebody black or white? He said black. He said, I'm black. Like, Michael had no problem saying that. Well, Michael Jackson was not only a great entertainer, but Michael Jackson was a smart businessman. They were so pissed off when he bought the Beatles catalog. They hated that. You know, no artist is supposed to be that smart to get the Beatles catalog. He had owned half of Sony's publishing. So anything that Sony was doing while he was alive, Michael was getting checks. Michael didn't have to come out with no more records if he didn't want to. I mean, Michael owned a lot of things. He didn't go blow his money. And the thing is, they hate when a black man outsmart them in their own game. Can't stand that. Exactly. And they killed Michael Jackson. Come on. Conrad Murray, look at the amount of time that he did for that with Michael Jackson. Just pay attention to it. You know, a black man barely has some weed in his pocket and get more time than that.
Exactly. That's what I've been saying, bro. That's what I've been saying. Like, just like you. Yeah, and I'm gonna get to Brock Turner's bitch ass, because as we all know, he only got like 3 months, I think, for raping that woman behind the dumpster. And I'm gonna get to his ass in a little bit too, since they want to talk about child molesters and rapists. I'm gonna get to him after this video. I'm gonna get to his ass. Not exactly, but I'm gonna get to him very, very soon too.
So it's all connected. And you seen the moment that Michael died, all this stuff started happening with his estate. Same thing with Prince. You know, Prince got all his masters back, and all of a sudden Prince died mysteriously. Oh, they gave Prince the wrong medication. Same thing, how they killed both of them, Prince and Michael Jackson.
Exactly.
But this situation with Michael is just completely sick. And HBO, like I said, you're wrong for that, because you have no evidence of anything other than their words. See, we in this Me Too era, and that you can come out and just say something about somebody and automatically it's supposed to be believed with no evidence.
Exactly. That's what I've been saying, man. Like, we're living in dangerous times now where anybody can just come out and say, oh, this person raped me, or this person molested me, and that person will automatically be believed, and the other person will be guilty until proven innocent when it's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. And that's just how it is. Like they'll most likely throw the innocent person in fucking prison before they'll throw the fucking guilty person in prison. So that should tell you how backwards and stupid this fucking shit is.
At all. And since the game is, well, let's go ahead on and try to destroy the black man, well, this is what we're going to do. Because we're not going to talk about the white men. We're going to try to destroy the legacy of the black man. Yeah, we got Cosby. You're dealing with R. Kelly right now with his situation. Now let's get dead Michael Jackson. Let's try to mess him up.
Exactly. And then you have Oprah coming out and basically buck dancing for the white man, and basically, you know, helping the white man out, but while also striking down her own brother. You know, and that's the type of shit that I will not tolerate, bro. I will not tolerate. She showed her true colors, and I've cut her off from that shit. The way I see it, like Phil says, I like my racists out in the open. That way I know who I'm dealing with, and I know who they are. I don't like these people trying to buddy up with black people, and then come to find out they were racist the whole time. So I'm glad that Oprah did this, because at least now I know who she is. Now I know who she really is.
The thing is, you can't mess up Michael Jackson because his fans are worldwide. His fans go from every age group, every racial demographic, you name it. People love Michael Jackson. And there's always these white supremacists that's in whatever industry they're in. They always try to break the black man. Now, did you hear what Michael said in that video? All the music that Elvis had, a black man wrote it, and he died penniless. Elvis sat there and copied all the moves of black people. He sat there and studied them. And then he said, oh, he's the king of rock and roll. Yeah, he copied black people. He didn't have an original thought in his head.
Yep.
It's been like that ever since this country has been in existence.
Exactly.
They can't do nothing without black people. Nothing.
Yep.
Nothing at all. They got to copy and steal it and do whatever else.
Because this country has never known a day without slavery and or racism. That's the way I see it. This country has not known a day without, you know, slavery or racism. They want to talk about how, oh, you know, if we had Hillary Clinton, this would have been a lot better. It's because of Trump all this stuff is going on. Like, no, trust me, Hillary Clinton is no better. Like, she called black people super predators, you know, and she's, you know, laundered money to finance a party. She's a criminal herself. She's just as bad as Trump. You know, to be honest, she don't like black people like that. It's fucking obvious as hell, man. And I'm gonna do a video on her myself, and her husband, because Bill Clinton, if you look it up, it's called the Mina Connection. If you look that documentary, it's up on YouTube. There's plenty of documentaries on the Mina Connection where he's had a hand in dealing cocaine and doing cocaine and having all these women, and she's laundered money to finance a party, and she's done all this other criminal activity. And you know, Bill Clinton passed that bill that basically was for black people, because we all know that whole drug thing that he did was mainly targeted toward black people, because during the time, you know, the whole crack epidemic was a thing, and that was specifically targeted toward black people and probably Hispanics as well, but specifically black people. And yet they haven't been, you know, to prison at all. Yet they're still roaming out here free and everything, and you know, and of course the emails that happened with her too. And yet she's still out here, you know, walking free. But yet, if a black man has a little bit of weed in his pocket, he'll go to prison. Or if he jaywalks, he'll spend, you know, they'll be like, fuck the fine, we're gonna put you in jail. But see the game? That's how they play the game. You know, that's how they do that shit, man. They play the game like that.
And then when a black person does something good, you want to harm them, take it from them, ruin their name, even when they're dead. Who's next? Tupac? But the one that I'm more upset about than out of all this with HBO, because see, that's to be expected with them. We all know how they are, this system. Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey knew Michael Jackson. Interviewed with this man many, many times. And not once has she ever come out, even during the trial, even during all the accusations, Oprah not once came out and said, yeah, Michael, you know, some things I saw that was strange. She never said that. She never talked bad about Michael Jackson when he was alive. She never done it. Now she talking about she believed the accusers. Oprah was in journalism. Oprah knew about the FBI investigation when they raided Michael Jackson's house and they didn't find no evidence against Michael Jackson at all.
Yeah, it's funny how she switched sides real fast. It's funny how quickly she switched. But I bet you she won't say nothing about Harvey Weinstein or Jeffrey Epstein or, you know, or trying to remember the other guy's name. What was his name? You know, shit, what was his name? I just said it not that long ago. Damn, the other, if I remember, I'll tell you, but I bet you she won't. Point is, I bet you she won't say nothing about those two, though. I bet you that.
No child pornography pictures, no nothing. You raided his whole house and
yeah, Kevin Spacey, there we go. I bet you she won't say nothing about those three, though, but, Roman Polanski. But she'll say something about Michael Jackson, though. I bet you, once they try to get to Tupac, she'll probably have something to say about that, too.
Not anything. The court case, he beat that court case.
Exactly.
I remember the court case of Michael and his family and all of them was walking up, you know, how the first day of court, how they all came in white. I remember all that, you know, when the Michael Jackson case is going on. And Oprah never said a word bad about Michael Jackson. Oprah, let me tell you something, and the reason why people are attacking you, Oprah, you are the most despicable human being. You know why you're so despicable and what angers me? You are a billionaire. You don't have to do the things that you're doing. One thing, what I can't stand, you know, and it burns me up when I hear this. How is it you're a black person, get all this money, and you still acting worse than someone that could not have a dime? You still bowing your head. You still acting like some sort of plantation mammy. Yes, I said that because that's exactly how you act. Like a plantation mammy. Yeah. You got all this money and then you still bowing down to these people. If anything, with all the money you have, you should be having your shoulders squared back and telling these people exactly who they are and what they can do with themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's funny. Back a few years ago, when she went over, I think, to Europe, and she went to a place that sells pocketbooks and stuff like that, and she was gonna go buy a pocketbook, but the woman that worked at the store said, "Can't ask her if she could afford. I don't think you can afford this type of stuff." And everybody was defending Oprah at that time, but you know the way I see it, if something like that happens again, man, the way I see it, man, fuck her, because she's out here believing these accusers with no evidence or no, you know, facts or nothing to back it up. She's out here believing these damn liars, but she is out here trying to demonize Michael Jackson. So next time something like that happens, you can just defend yourself. That's all I'm saying.
And you should have told them, well, how am I going to participate in something when I knew Michael? I interviewed Michael. I've been to Michael's house. I can call Mike on the phone at any time. But it's the same woman that want to put up a tweet called "Shout Your Abortion." Notice other races of women aren't putting that up. They're celebrities shouting their abortions, but leave it up to a woman like that to advocate the genocide of black children. She never had kids, so what you talking about shouting an abortion for? You're not talking about the risk of that, but breast cancer increased 50% risk. You never tell them that they possibly could be sterile after that. They possibly could die from that. You don't tell them none of the risk, but you were talking about shout your abortion like you driving down the street to the grocery store. It's just one of the things that you do.
Yeah.
Oprah and that Gayle King, both
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
We have no loyalty at all
Exactly.
in our community. That's
Exactly.
why sometimes it just sickens me sometimes. It's like, why it has to be us? Why? I don't see other groups of people doing that crap
Exactly.
as the norm. I'm not saying you got one off that's doing it, but as the norm.
Yeah.
You're always selling out your people. And for what? Like, what did you gain by doing this to Michael, Oprah? What did you gain?
That's exactly what I literally said early in the video. What are you gonna gain from selling out Michael Jackson, a dead man? What are you gonna gain from it? Nothing. So why are you doing this? You are a billionaire. You don't need to do this shit. You don't need to do this interview and talk to these lying motherfuckers. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it yet. For some reason, you're doing it anyway. You're selling out you're selling out a black man. For what, man? For what? So you can get some more ratings on your television show? Like, come on, man. What the fuck are you doing? That's all I'm saying. Like, literally, what the fuck are you doing? Why do you feel the need to sell out this black man, Michael Jackson? Why do you feel like you need to sell him out? That's what I don't get. You're doing all this for basically nothing. And you're wasting your time and everybody else's time as well.
What do you gain? You have money, so what do you need by doing this? What do you need? Because they investigated those same people that you're talking about back then when he was alive, the FBI. And the FBI didn't find any credible evidence of anything. So you're going to believe what they say after they've been possibly paid or whatever else is going on with this situation. Because this is a coordinated hit, just like the same thing with Cosby and all the things that they're doing is a coordinated hit. And then these people come here, I can't believe you mentioned Cosby. Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell all of you something. I know what happened in that trial with Cosby. I know the evidence of it, and it was a straight kangaroo court. But see, the people don't look into the evidence or anything.
And I bet you I'm probably going to have some people in the comments saying that, oh, this has nothing to do with race, and why are you bringing up race? Is like I said when I was talking to my brother. As long as you live in this country, America, it's always going to be about race. Because like I said, America has not known a day without racism or slavery. So, do you see what I'm talking about? They're going out of their way to throw R. Kelly, Cosby, and Michael Jackson, and probably Tupac under the bus. But they're not doing the same fucking thing to Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Spacey, Roman Polanski, Jeffrey Epstein, and Elvis Presley, and all the other, white people that have raped and molested kids. But yet they want to believe these two men that are known liars and have been proven to be lying, and that Michael Jackson was proven innocent and had no fucking, no child pornography, nothing like that. And it's been proven, yet people nowadays still want to believe that these two lying son of a bitches. Yet there is no proof that what they're saying is true. Yet somehow they still want to believe them for whatever reason. Talking about, oh, after watching this, I believe the victims. I was like, get the fuck out of here. There is no fucking way that I can believe these motherfuckers after all the flip-flopping they have done, over the years that this shit's been going on. So they need to get the fuck out of here. That's the way I see it, man. Y'all will believe this shit, which I think is stupid. Very, very fucking stupid. How can you believe these motherfuckers after they've been proven to be fucking liars? And saying that, oh, he didn't do it. Well, if he didn't do it, why the fuck are you coming back out saying that he did do it?
They don't read, a lot of times don't read much or nothing. Cosby should not be in jail. What happened with his situation? He shouldn't. But in the system of racism, white supremacy, this is what they do.
Exactly. But they'll be quick to throw the black man under the bus, but if it comes to anybody else, because like when George Zimmerman, he killed Trayvon Martin, they basically let him off of that fucking shit, off of going to prison and basically being framed a murderer. They let his bitch ass get off, and all these other people have gotten off too. Fucking bullshit. So that's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. I don't see how some people can believe these lying sacks and shit, but somehow people do.
But no one in their right mind is going to support what they doing to Michael Jackson. This brother's a legend. He will always be a legend. And these people, whoever they are, is doing this mess. And that Wade Robeson guy, I remember him like being some choreographer, and he had shows and everything else. Well, obviously, you know, Michael Jackson helped open up some opportunities for him to do good for himself. He was always on MTV at one point in time. I remember he had like his own show on MTV. I guess Michael couldn't have been that bad.
Yeah.
But you know, when they're all on team white supremacy, so when it's time to try to destroy a black man, even when you're dead, that's what they try to do.
Yeah, they'll get on code real fast. They doesn't matter if you're dead or alive. They'll get on code real fast to practice that racism and white supremacy real quick. To throw a black man under the bus. Yeah, they'll definitely do what they can. Because I'm telling you, man, they'll get on code faster than a goddamn cheetah, bro. Don't make sense. Don't make sense, man.
And Michael, you know, he was definitely waking up for years. He was calling out Tommy Mottola, talking about how racist he was, and then that's, you know, that was Mariah Carey's ex-husband. That's who she married. Well, that figures. And my thing is this: Oprah Winfrey, you're despicable. You're extremely despicable. No one should support anything that you're doing. Everyone that's sending you hateful messages have every right to send you hateful messages because you're wrong. You're wrong. You never, not once questioned anything about Michael when he was alive. But all of a sudden you're doing it now. Let's say, Oprah, you sick. I like I said, you are one of them gatekeepers. But you know, well, what am I saying? You were Harvey Weinstein's friend. You was all buddied up with him. They got pictures of you with Harvey Weinstein, and you buddied up with
Had the nerve to
Trump
talking
too.
about,
So
oh,
I mean,
white supremacists are good people too. It's like, man, if you don't get your goddamn, orange Fanta looking ass out of here. Like, man, you know goddamn well, I don't know no white supremacist as a good person, man. Fuck out of here. But yet somehow she's buddied up with him, and not saying nothing about him or Harvey Weinstein. But you wanna throw another black person in the bus for what though? For what? You don't need money, so what the fuck you doing it for? That's all I'm saying. If you stop working now, you be good for the rest of your life. So I don't understand what the fuck she's doing this shit.
You're the kind of black person that will cut any black person's throat to get to where you want to be at.
Exactly.
You don't care about black people at all. All you care about is yourself.
And that's exactly right. And I'm kind of tired of those type of individuals too, where they only think about themselves. They don't think about the collective people. They don't think about everybody else. They only think about themselves. And that's part of the problem with America. Everybody just thinks about themselves. They don't necessarily think about how this can affect everybody else. And that's the problem. That's how too many of these people are nowadays. They're too worried about themselves and not necessarily worried about how everybody else could suffer from this too. That's all I'm saying. I'm telling you.
In your particular interest. I'm so glad you didn't reproduce, because you don't need to produce, that nasty spirit on some precious child. But leave me a comment, let me know what you think about this particular story with Michael Jackson. No one needs to even pay attention to that documentary. I'm not watching that crap, because I grew up enough to know everything about Michael Jackson, and everything they're stating with this is complete lies. The family standing against it, and I think the families want to take legal action against this.
Yeah, that's the way I see it, man. So yeah, I'm telling you, man, that whole situation is just stupid as hell. So okay, we're done with the Michael Jackson portion of it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get into, hopefully if my computer can keep up. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get into some dirt on these particular individuals. since they want to throw the black man under the bus, let's throw some white individuals under the bus that did the same type of crime. Because oh yeah, I got some videos that show that some white individuals doing the same exact thing, yet no one wants to talk about this. They all want to talk about Michael Jackson and R. Kelly and Bill Cosby, but they ain't talking about these individuals. So yeah, I'm gonna show you some individuals that have done basically the same thing, rape and molestation, but they're not talking about this though. So I'm gonna go ahead and get in this once I just gotta wait for my computer to catch up really quick, because it does this sometimes when it's been on for a while. So but yeah, let's get into this. I'm gonna show you a few videos of some very very sick individuals. And we're gonna get in to the first one, and the first one is a cop. So let's get into this, because this is definitely gonna be interesting. So, and I'm telling you, man, like they always want to talk about, they always want to talk about, how, Michael Jackson this, or, they want to talk about uh, R. Kelly and Bill Cosby. But they're these type of individuals that do this shit every day, but people never say nothing about anybody else. I mean, yeah, Bill Cosby and R. Kelly and Michael Jackson are famous, but that shouldn't stop people from talking about these particular individuals as well. And we all know that these everyday people do this type of shit too, and yet somehow this type of stuff doesn't get covered. But we're all supposed to just, we're all just supposed to forget about this and not talk about this. But we're just supposed to, we're supposed to just automatically talk about Michael Jackson and stuff like that, which I don't really understand, because it's that type of stuff that pisses me off, because it's like, bro, y'all are completely ignoring all the other people that are doing this, but y'all don't want to cover these particular individuals that we all know damn well, do the same shit too. So that's all I'm saying. Like, this is the type of shit that really does get on my nerves, because it's like you have too many of these individuals getting away, or going under the radar with these types of crimes, but yet anytime it's anybody else, especially a black man, they really want to go out of their way to destroy their name and try to defraud them. But when it comes to them, they don't want to talk about it. And that's the type of shit that annoys me. That's all I'm saying. So they definitely need to get out of here with that type of shit. That's all I'm saying. So it's that type of shit that I feel like is annoying to me. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna get into this, because this is definitely be the fun part of it for me. So, because we just get to show the double standard in a better light here. So this is definitely the fun part about it, if this thing will ever load. But yeah, I just find that whole thing to be hilarious. How they want to throw these individuals under the bus and everything. So I just find that whole thing to be hilarious, to be honest. So it's just that type of stuff that definitely can't stand. That's all I'm saying, man. And hopefully they'll get their justice. That's all I'm saying. Hopefully, but then again I doubt it. Just because we live in this type of system, so I doubt that they're gonna ever have anything happen to them. That's all I'm saying. So, but yeah, that just shows you right there just how much of a double standard this type of shit is, and you know how much other types of people can get away with this stuff, but you know when it comes to black folks, they want to throw the book at them. That's all I'm saying.
I would like to thank Kevin Smith for sending me this story that is coming out of Massachusetts. This individual's name is Carlos Vieira, and he is a cop who, well, at this point, he's probably a former cop, and he met this individual on that website Grindr. Turns out the person that he met on Grindr is, or it is
I'm trying to think. The computer's lagging. I don't know, because I feel like if I stay on here a little bit longer, I feel like it's just gonna get worse. So I may get off and then just pick this back up. In a little bit because I gotta go use the bathroom anyway. So I think what I may do is I may get off, go use the bathroom really quick, and then come back and hop on and do the rest of this particular part, and then just upload both parts at some time. Whenever that may be, I just have to figure out when I might be able to actually upload this stuff because it normally I don't have the greatest internet, so it normally takes a while for the stuff to upload. So what I may do is, yeah, I'll just get off of this really quick, and then I'll be back in the next part. So that way we can actually get into the double standard of these particular people. And this, even though I've already exposed the double standard, it just will back up what I'm saying in the next part of this whole situation, because this shows you just how fucked up these people are in the head, and and then they have the nerve to talk about everybody else and how a black man does, black people are low IQ and they're sick and everything. They claim how they're high IQ and all this other stuff when they're out here doing this nefarious behavior and everything. And it's that type of attitude that I can't stand. Is that they want to claim that they're better than everybody, but they're the ones committing these same type of crimes, and they're the ones that are doing it a lot more. I mean, people like to believe that black people are the head of crime, but at the end of the day, it's white people. They're the head of crime, except for maybe like two, and that's it. But yet, they want to talk about everybody else. That's all I'm saying. So, they're the type of person that will throw stones and try to hide their hand. They'll try to tell everybody else how perfect they are and how they can do no wrong, and just the like how good of a person they are and everything. And that's the type of shit that I can't stand. That's the type of stuff I can't stand. Is when they try to act like they're perfect and everything, like they do no wrong, how they're much better than everybody else. And I'm not saying all, but I just said some. Not all, but some, just the racist ones. I'm not talking about every white person. I'm just talking about, you know, the racist ones and the ones that think that way. So I'm not coming after just normal white people. I'm coming after the racist ones. So don't think I hate white people. I just hate the racist ones. That's it. If it like they say, if it doesn't apply, just let it fly. So that's the way I see it, man. So but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you saw this from my perspective, and I hope you didn't get too mad or offended or angry at what I said. But I'm just talking about this from my perspective because I am a black man in America, so this stuff does affect me because this could happen to me. This could happen to anybody that looks like me because I got an afro, I got a beard, I'm black, and this could happen to anyone that looks like me. So it does kind of affect me in a way, in lot ways, in more ways than one. So that's why I'm talking about this. So, and plus I was passionate because I love Michael Jackson, and all this shit is just wrong that they're doing to him, which I think is just a bunch of bullshit. But they're just lying on this man's name for no reason at all. So I think it's bullshit. They need to go after Harvey Weinstein and Kevin Spacey and all them other white people that have raped. So that's why I'm saying they need to get the fuck out of here. That's all I'm saying. So I feel like they need to come up with something new. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, I'll definitely see you guys later. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys for supporting me and everything that I do, and I definitely will definitely appreciate you guys coming through and watching everything, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. And just let me know what you guys think of this in the comments down below, because I would love to, like I said before, I love to hear this. Would love to hear your feedback and everything. Alright, I'll see you guys later. See you guys in the next part. Alright, see you later.